About 1 kilometer below the ocean's surface, far beyond the reach of sunlight, there is a vast black void, larger than all of Earth's other habitats combined. It is a world without day or night, a world without seasons, a world where sunlight has never reached. Life exists here, but not in any way we recognize. This is the deep ocean, the largest living space on our planet and also the least explored. A place where pressure can crush steel, temperatures hover just above freezing, and food is so scarce that every movement must be carefully calculated. Yet against all odds, life thrives. In this permanent darkness, many creatures seem almost alien. Their bodies glow, they shimmer, they flash in complex patterns of light that pierce the blackness. Nearly all animals need to attract mates and deter predators. On land, this is done with sound, color, or movement. But in the deep sea, none of those methods work. Here, light becomes a language so widespread that it may be the most common form of communication on the entire planet, even though we still understand very little about it. Some flashes are brief, others pulse rhythmically. Some glow steadily like distant stars. Each signal carries meaning, whether to warn, attract, confuse, or deceive. Many predators in the deep sea illuminate themselves, not to be seen, but to hunt. By producing light, they attract curious prey that mistake the glow for food, safety, or another living creature. One of the most striking examples is the fangtooth fish. For its size, it has the largest teeth of any fish on Earth. Its jaws are lined with long, needle-like fangs that cannot even fit inside its mouth. Instead, grooves in its skull protect its brain from its own teeth. Sensitive organs cover its head and body, allowing it to detect even the faintest vibration in the surrounding water. Nothing moves nearby without being noticed. In the midnight zone, the fangtooth is among the most aggressive hunters, perfectly adapted for a world where hesitation can mean starvation. But predators are not the only ones using light. Prey species have evolved their own luminous defenses. Some deep-sea animals release clouds of glowing ink, bright decoys that distract attackers and vanish into the darkness. Others flash sudden bursts of light to startle predators, buying precious seconds to escape. In a place where speed is rare and energy is precious, survival often depends on deception. Here, life seems to operate beyond the familiar rules of time. Siphonophores, long, drifting colonies made up of thousands of genetically identical individuals, are nearly immortal. They grow by endlessly cloning themselves, with some colonies eventually reaching lengths greater than a blue whale. They drift silently, suspended in the water column, feeding on whatever the darkness delivers. From far above, a constant snowfall descends. This is marine snow, a steady rain of organic debris made up of dead plankton, fecal matter, and fragments of once living creatures. In the deep ocean, this snow is food. It sustains countless filter feeders, including jellyfish and delicate sea cucumbers, which capture drifting particles with astonishing efficiency. Only a tiny fraction of marine snow escapes consumption. Over time, it settles on the ocean floor. Across millions of years, these sediments accumulate into a vast, muddy plain, sometimes more than 1 kilometer thick, covering nearly half the surface of our planet. At first glance, the deep seafloor appears empty and lifeless. In reality, it supports a unique community of highly specialized animals. The sea toad is a master of patience. An ambush predator, it waits motionless for hours, sometimes days, until prey wanders too close. Its enormous mouth opens in an instant, swallowing victims whole. After living in this environment for so long, its fins have evolved into structures resembling feet. Rather than swimming, it shuffles slowly across the seabed, conserving energy. Nearby, the flapjack octopus hovers just above the mud. Soft-bodied and fragile, it gently sifts through sediment in search of worms and small prey. At the slightest sign of danger, it can jet away in an instant, disappearing into the darkness. Every night, something extraordinary happens. Nearly 1 billion tons of marine life rise from the depths toward the surface to feed. This is the largest daily migration on Earth. Under the cover of darkness, countless animals graze on phytoplankton near the surface. But the journey is dangerous. Other predators follow silently, some traveling upward from hundreds of meters below, tracking the movement of their prey. At dawn, the entire migration retreats once more into the safety of the deep, vanishing before the sunlight returns. If we want to find the greatest number and diversity of animals that communicate with light, we must go to the darkest place on Earth, the deep ocean. Here, light does not come from the sun, but from life itself. Tiny creatures flash in response to one another. Comb jellies glow in shimmering rainbows, their fragile bodies refracting light like glass. Deep-sea squid pulse with moving patterns of illumination that travel across their skin. These displays may serve for defense, communication, or purposes we do not yet understand. Even in the deepest darkness, there is light. When no external illumination remains, the animals themselves become living fireworks. This is bioluminescence. Among the most unsettling examples is the deep-sea anglerfish. In the darkness, a small glowing lure hangs above its head, gently swaying. The light is produced by bacteria living permanently inside the lure. Attracted by the glow, prey drift closer and closer until they are swallowed by the anglerfish's deadly jaws. In the black ocean, there are countless such lures, silent invitations. Why is this lure suspended so far from the fish's terrifying mouth? We cannot be certain, but notably, the anglerfish also carries another flashing lure much closer to its jaws, a deadly backup. They are called anglerfish because they hunt much like fly fishermen use artificial flies. To a hunting squid with enormous eyes, this faint glimmer may look like food, and that mistake is fatal. In some regions of the deep ocean, even seawater itself changes. Pools of dense brine form on the sea floor, heavier than the surrounding water, separated like invisible traps. Along their edges, life still gathers, not because it is safe, but because food is too scarce to ignore. The boundary is fragile. Move too close and the cost can be fatal. For many species, there is no second chance. The brine preserves the evidence of mistakes, and over time, motionless bodies accumulate along the margins. Silent reminders that in the deep sea, survival always comes with a price. And this is the rule that governs this world. Where there is no sunlight, no abundance, and no way back, life is not shaped by beauty or mercy. It persists because it adapts. In that darkness, small lights continue to flicker. not as promises, but as strategies for survival. And the deep ocean, quieter than any other place on Earth, continues to operate by rules entirely its own.